In 1992, Sony launched a music format that looked as if it had arrived from the future. It was smaller than a CD, protected by a plastic shell, recordable, rewritable, and resistant to skipping. In many ways, MiniDisc was the portable format people had been waiting for. So why did the world choose something else? At the time, portable music always meant compromise. Cassettes were cheap and recordable, but they hissed and wore out. Their tape could tangle, and finding a song meant holding rewind or fast forward and waiting. CDs sounded cleaner and offered instant track access, but portable players were bulky and early models skipped when moved. MiniDisc tried to combine tape's flexibility, CD's control, and a body designed for everyday use. The disc itself was only 64 millimeters wide and lived safely inside a protective cartridge. You could drop it into a bag without touching or scratching the actual recording surface. Unlike a cassette, repeated playback did not drag delicate tape across a mechanical head. Sony's first portable recorder, the MZ1, could record, play, recall tracks instantly, and resist shocks with memory buffering. Later players became dramatically smaller and lighter. Beside a cassette or portable CD player, MiniDisc felt genuinely modern. But its greatest advantage was not its size. It was what you could do after recording. A MiniDisc recording could be divided into tracks, and those tracks could be named, moved, combined, or deleted. You could capture a concert, interview, or radio show, then reorganize the recording directly on the machine. A mistake did not always mean starting over, and a playlist did not have to stay in one order. For journalists, musicians, and obsessive mixtape makers, it was a tiny audio workstation held in one hand. But MiniDisc was not better in every way. Standard discs used Sony's ATRAC compression. ATRAC fitted roughly an album onto the small disc, but early versions removed audio information to save space. An original uncompressed CD could still sound better under close listening, and the first MiniDisc machines were expensive. Clever hardware does not win because engineers admire it. It wins when normal people can use it without friction. MiniDisc became a genuine success in Japan and earned loyal users in Europe and professional recording. So, calling it a complete failure would be wrong. But outside Japan, it faced a serious catalog problem. Pre-recorded MiniDisc albums existed, but their selection never approached the enormous CD catalog in many markets. For those buyers, MiniDisc was not a replacement for a music collection. It was another device for copying it. Before high-speed transfers, a 60-minute album could require 60 minutes of real-time recording. MiniDisc saved time during playback, then demanded that time back while the owner prepared each disc. Meanwhile, CD burners became cheaper, and MP3 files separated music from the physical object. Then, in 2001, Apple introduced an iPod with 5 gigabytes of storage. Apple advertised enough capacity for 1,000 songs, together with automatic syncing through iTunes. MiniDisc asked for the best object to carry an album. The iPod asked why separate album objects were needed. Sony responded with NetMD, allowing music to move from a computer to MiniDisc much faster. But the experience depended on Sony's SonicStage software and a set of strict copyright controls. Sony's manuals described check-in and check-out, normally limiting a file to 3 simultaneous transfers. Files could be returned only to their original computer. The hardware felt futuristic. The software felt like permission. In 2004, NetMD answered many complaints. A new disc could store 1 full gigabyte. It supported uncompressed linear PCM audio and could carry ordinary computer files through USB. For field recording, it was superb, but flash and hard drive players were already improving rapidly. Hi-MD perfected the answer to a question the mass market was already leaving behind. Minidisc did not lose because it was bad. It became brilliant, just as the world stopped needing the physical part.